fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
Alright, welcome back to Wind Tunnel TV. Tonight it's the RGR Winston Xfinity Series. We're live at Bristol at the last great Colosseum. It's Bristol, baby. I'm Dean Doucette. He's Jason Martin. Jason, we're at the Colosseum. How are we feeling about this one?
Well, Dean, it'll make for an interesting race. They got 200 laps to go around this place. Hopefully we see some green flag races. It'll be fun to see them shake it up.
Yeah, big field, 36 cars, tight track, practice, a little rough, but that's to be expected, and usually that gets all shooken out during practice. But you're right, will it go green? Strategy going to come into play here. Tires, gas looking at about 115 to 122. We got 200 laps. We'll see if that comes into play. Lots of things will come into play here at Bristol tonight. Of course, we're working with one pit road, meaning they'll have to enter and turn to go through both pit roads, front and back. So it's a long ways around. And when we talk about that, Jason, pitting under green is a real danger in those conditions.
Oh, yeah, pitting on the green is going to be a no-go tonight. You're going to have to just deal with your car until you can get a caution, because if you pit on the green, you're going to lose at least 3 to 4 laps would be my guess. The other good thing is that the track conditions, looks like the track has rubbered all the way in, so the track shouldn't change too much for them. It will be interesting to see how they deal with that also.
Absolutely, it will. Looking on the 29 there. There's Daryl Spear out here. Corey Leal. How about Nathan Hardy in the 64 machine here tonight? There's Whitford. We got a couple of newcomers, I believe, but hard to tell. Big field, though. That's the main thing. Let's get a look in on our championship standings here. Now, these are going to be unofficial, but they are in at least close to the right order. I know Austin Hund officially in the points lead after his win last week at Phoenix. Love what I'm seeing out of Hund this year. He's, I wouldn't say he's sneaking up on people, but he's doing everything he needs to do. We're only 4 races in here now, but having the points lead it's better than not having it, right, Jason?
Yeah, absolutely. But, he's done well, and he's on his 4 starts. He's got an average finish of like 6, I believe. He's being followed up by Greg Ratliff, and he's looking to have a good start of the season, too.
Absolutely. Greg, no slouch out here, and he was, I believe, the truck champion. Ripka in 3rd is the past Xfinity champion. You got Adam Recker. Recker's been doing phenomenal. Consistency wins championships. He's been very consistent, to say the least. You got Jason Spear, who led a great deal of last season in the points, but unfortunately had to have some Mai Tais down on a vacation with his girl, so he lost that points lead. Darren Bruce, Mike McMillan, Bernard Pearson, George Dibble, and Tony Ratliff, your top 10, as guys start to grit up. I love it. We're getting ready to go green flag racing here, Jason.
Yeah, and I'm sure those top 10 in the standings are looking for a really good finish tonight.
All right, everybody getting in their cars and getting ready to go. And looking at the front of the field here, we'll get into it in a second, but, a bit of a shakeup up front. I like what I'm seeing here.
Yeah, you got Fred Lester up there on the pole, and Greg Ratliff was one of the guys we were just speaking about coming in at P2. George Lee starting 3rd, Buckshot in 4th, Mike Walker starting in 5th position.
Here we go. Adam Newton
I
in
jump you.
6th.
Sorry.
It's all good. Adam Recker in 7th. You got William Gay on the outside of row number 4. It's Brandon Bass starting on the inside of row number 5, along with Paul K. Travis. They're in 10th position. Starting on row 6, it's Eric Beller and Jason Spear. Look a little further back, if I can get to it. There we go. John G-Man Minkowski back here, along with Person. You got Hardy, Kulikowski, Gilly, Hund, Musial, and Bruce in your top 20. You can look a little further back to find your favorite driver here. We'll try and see if we see any, I don't want to slight anybody, but any notables that have been up in the points or up near the front. Someone like, actually, Scott Olson starting back here. That's he's had some great races, and I don't think he's won yet, but been close a couple of times. So look for him to look to move forward here tonight. But it's Fred Lester out on the point, the 78, with his first pole here that I'm aware of. So great job by him.
Yeah, absolutely. Dean, it'll be interesting on the start, see which lane goes or not, if how the high line plays with the low line, and see who gets out there the front the first.
Absolutely. Greg Ratliff on the outside there with George Leal and Lance Ripka in row 2. We're just about ready to go green flag racing. Here we go. Lester down and away. Slow start there. I mean, by everybody. But so far, so good as they keep it clean here.
Yeah, it looks like Lester's able to take off, and that high line didn't quite get as good a start, and Lester took advantage of that first place starting position.
So everybody through the first couple of corners, always big here at Bristol. Lester out front, and he is looking sharp. I think he must have been practicing with Newton. I know Newton likes this track, likes his line, and Lester is friends with him. And I'm telling you, Fred Lester, impressive here early. But here comes Ratliff.
Old Adam Newton's hanging back there in fourth place, got a good start. He's a pretty smart racer, too. I'm sure he's just biding his time, going to optimize his line to get the most out of his car he can.
Yeah, he will. Here comes Greg Ratliff looking for the race lead. So Ratliff down on that low line. I like being down there early. Lester, though, holding them off from that middle to high. Bit of a different line than I'm used to, and I like it.
Yeah, it looks like this field's gotten sorted out really quick. So all that practice time they did earlier has really worked out for them. It looks like everybody's kind of settled in, and we're almost single file with just a few differences in where guys are running high or low. And I don't really see any advantage to either lane right now.
No, nothing really showing up dramatically here. Ripka trying to move up. He's in third. Newton on the outside of him. He's up a couple. Gay's up a couple. Paul K right in there. So Travis is up 5 spots already. So the 88's on the move.
Yeah, we also got Jason Spear, who's moved up about 4 positions since the start, which is good to see. Jason's a long time, good racer out here, always a consistent guy.
Yeah, with his teammate Bernard Person up 6 right behind him. So those two on the move most definitely. George Leal is someone who's been falling. So Leal down on that bottom there. He's lost 7 spots already, Jason. Do you think this is a product of he overqualified himself, or is he perhaps just saving his stuff for later in this run?
No, I'm pretty sure he's probably saving a little bit. I mean, that really is the smart thing to do, especially at this track, especially if we continue this green flag, which, I mean, this race really seems to have sorted itself out. There's only a few side-by-side battles going on. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's just saving a little bit for a long run.
So let's go look at our pass for the race lead here as Greg Ratliff took over the lead from Fred Lester. You see here, he's just down, just nosing out. Heck of a run on the low side he got there to not really hold position, but get a little bit closer on entry. And you see there, just good drive off. He'll complete this pass through this corner. So there, he just drives in a little harder, gets the job done. That's a great job by him.
Yeah, great job by both. Too early to argue about any kind of position. They were both smart and just settling in.
Oh, and we got caution on the track. Looks like the 29 out here, and he is already on pit road, and he is already dead, I do believe. So please check for your local funeral arrangements.
Yeah, I believe that motor's done. He smacked himself right in the wall. It looked like he got loose, came up on a track, and somebody just nicked his right front and sent him right into the wall. But I believe he is done for the day.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate to have the caution. I don't believe he was really ready to race here tonight, Jason, and that's something we talk about sometimes. Got to be prepared, got to be ready for these type of tracks, or you're going to put these 35 cars under caution again, and when we do, problems can arise. Right now, pit stalls are open. Who's coming in?
That doesn't look like anybody.
Well, there's people in. There's no doubt. Tony Ratliff.
No, the leaders. Sorry.
Like Tony Ratliff, Gadina, Brown is in, Olson, Blau, Allen, Whiting. And I like this. Dibble's in. I mean, I like the call from some of these guys. If you're in the back, you know, you're 25th on back, why not?
Yeah, absolutely. And none of the leaders came in, so we have a total of about 8 lead lap cars come in for tires. So the fresh tires will be starting about 26th position back.
Daniel Blau comes back out this week with the Oregon Duck machine. That gives me a chance to give you my take on Bo Nix there, Jason. You haven't heard this. I said he's going to be the best quarterback in this draft. What do you think about that?
Well, he certainly is old enough. I always felt that was a man playing a boy's game there in the college football. But sure is going to be exciting to see.
That's a great point. He is a little older. We'll see. I don't know if 25 qualifies as old man, but sometimes they talk like that. Ratliff out front. Lester hanging in second, doing a great job. It's Paul K. Travis and Adam Newton in row 2. Ripka and Gay in row 3. Person and Spear. Leal and Bass. And we're almost ready to go green flag racing. Pace cars off the track. Green, and it's another slow start as the low line does not go. Lester right to the front. He might be scared as if he jumped it. He did not. That was just Ratliff being slow. He's got to go. Newton going with him.
Yeah, it looks like Newton is taking advantage of being on that high side right now and keeping Ratliff down there, and he may be able to get past him for P2, holding behind P1 Fred Lester.
Wow, Lester bringing Newton through. Congestion. Travis gets in a little bit of a bottleneck there, backs out. Good job by him.
Yeah, that was a power move by Newton right there. It's impressive to watch. It looks like the 52 of Buckshot is taking advantage of the 44 there for P4.
Just scouring through the field here, and we can see further back. You look at Gilly. You know, these guys are fighting hard back here, too. It's a big field. There's fights all over this track.
Yeah, we got the 22 of Michael Walker overall through the race. He's lost 14 spots. Don't know if he has an issue or anything, but he sure is struggling here in the beginning.
Yeah, that's a little bit odd to drop that many. He might have got loose or something, got down. Who knows? But yeah, definitely struggling. I'm hearing tires spin. Not seeing any caution on the track, though. Got scared there for a minute.
Challenge again for the lead here with Adam Newton getting underneath Fred Lester.
Yeah, watch out for Newton. I mean, last time he raced at Bristol, he nearly lapped the field. He's got it hooked up for Bristol. Lester on the outside trying to hold him off, touches the wall there. So put Newton to the lead.
Yeah, it looks like Lester's getting a little loose off there coming out of turn 1.
Well, you'll see that, right? These cars will get loose, but it should sort itself out. I usually say by around lap 25, right where we are now, we had a caution tire heat's got to come up a bit. But you'll see things switch up here shortly. I don't think you'll see a whole lot of change from Newton, because Newton has just proved himself to be very, very good here now.
Yeah, sure do. We got Buckshot in the 52, moving up to 6th place. Got Bernard Pearson there in 7th place, and JJ Spear in 8th, holding strong there behind, just waiting for the top.
Static cam here. Some great shots of the speed of these guys coming through these corners, whizzing by these cameras. Very impressive stuff here. So Newton's starting to walk away. So shocker here. He's running that low line, and he's almost running a hair of a diamond here. I like what I'm seeing from him. Let's go on board with him, Jason. Just talk us through what you see out of Adam Newton here.
Yeah, well, he enters turn 1 here, and he just stays in that middle line, gets a little diamond off, exits the corner. He does that so he can get on the throttle a little earlier, and it's really paying for him because it looks like he's walking out to a bit of a gap here, almost a second.
It looks like he's walking out to a gap here, Jason, with minimal effort. And that's often what you'll find from a guy who's doing well on a track, is it looks easy, doesn't it?
Yeah, and when we're looking at his in-car cam, you can see how easy he was being on his wheel. He's very easy, soft movements with his hands. Pays huge dividends, especially in the long run.
All right, so that's Newton. Let's go back to Lester here. Now, Lester looks like he's starting to run that lower line himself. It's a little higher here and a little more diamond-ish.
Yeah, the one difference between their two lines you'll see is that his dive down is a little more aggressive, team. And that could be good or bad depending on the condition of your tires.
Well, you like to talk about like going with the banking of the corner, Jason. Tell us a little bit about what you mean by that.
Well, it's kind of like, I view it as when you're cutting a piece of meat, you want to go against that grain. And when you go against that grain, it's good. But on a racetrack, if you go against how the track is designed and how the oval design and the banking is, that's where you tear your tires up a little more. And it's not really good. You want to keep it nice and smooth, stay with how the concaveness of the angle and the banking of the track, and drive your car through it.
All right, great advice there. We look into 3rd place. You see the 44. Now, that corner there, he did exactly what you're saying. He comes in a little high, but not so much on this corner. But let's see if he does it here, Jason. He pretty much rode the banking as designed to perfection. Like, it was so smooth, I couldn't believe it.
Right, you can see he's riding that second line seam almost. Well, he got a little high this lap, but staying on that corner. Second line. Yeah, staying. Oh, here we go, caution.
Looks like Gilly's involved here. Gadina's involved. Seaman, Whitford, Olson, Mickey Spear. So let's get a look in on it, see what happened here.
Yeah, it looks like Tony Ratliff come in inside of Todd Gilly there and just come up the track a little bit, or Todd may came down a little bit and just clipped him, and then some melee afterwards ensued.
Yeah, let's get a better look. So we've seen Gadina. He just got loose under braking a little bit. Maybe got nudged a little bit. No harm, no foul. Who did you say that was? Gilly?
Tony Ratliff, the number 6 car. He slid up.
Yeah.
Slid up into the 19 coming out of the corner there.
So he's coming up, not quite clear. He might have thought he was clear. It was really close, but not clear. And around they go. That's about it for that wreck. Couple spinners. Oh, a hard lick there. And that was, who is that, the 20? That's Daryl Whitford there. Wow, he got a big piece of that late. So while that was going on, pit road got real busy. Everybody's in except for Adam Newton and Stevie Knight. So Now, we've seen Newton, you know, I tried to talk to him a little bit about it. He might not have remembered some of these, but these kind of decisions here, it's interesting. I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just saying it's different than the field. He stayed out, everybody else pit. Is this going to be a bad move or a good move here, Jason?
Yeah. If we were limited on tires, but I believe these guys got 6 sets of tires. They got 1 on the car. Started the race with 1 on the car and 5 in the pits. I don't see any reason why you wouldn't go in and get tires at this point of the race, 41 laps. I have a feeling that right now, at this point of the race, this may bite them in the butt.
I mean, you got a lot of set of tires. I mean, he should be okay. He definitely won't be as good as he was compared to the field, but very interesting here. Newton opts for track position. He's a little concerned maybe that others would stay out if he came in. I'm not too sure. Musial, let's check our pit board again. So Musial did not pit either. Now for Musial, I like this because he picked up a whole ton of track position here.
Yes, 17 positions he picked up by staying out. That's a smart move right there.
So Lester comes off of pit road. He'll come out in third with fresh rubber. It's Gay, Ratliff, Person, Ripka, Spear, and Leal in your top, well, and Bruce in your top 10.
Not going green.
Yeah, if you notice here, you got the sneaky old man there, Bernard Person, getting up in there. Before that pit stop, he was made it to the top 5, and he's always that guy that always lingers around in them dangerous spots, and all of a sudden he's on you.
I think he did that at my house one night.
Yeah, probably. You've done that at everybody's house, what I heard.
All right, Newton out front on older tires. Can he hold them off? We're going to find out. Musial also, so no lane advantage here to anybody. One more time around here, we'll get this thing going. Lester and Gay are going to be licking their chops, but which line moves better? I mean, you got to like the inside lane with Newton on the old tires, but we're about to find out.
Yeah, at this point in the race, with old tires up front, I mean, I would totally want to be on the inside line myself.
Now, is there any danger here of spinning them, Jason?
41 laps? Yeah, there is. You're going to have to be careful spinning your tires. But if I was to choose a line right now, I would much rather be on the inside. Get that car pointed straight and get the gas down.
All right, a little check up on the high side there. And Musial comes back up. Green comes out. Oh, good even start here from our front two. But Newton on the low line couldn't prevail. Musial way up the track running that high side.
Yeah, that's what I figured. He would get in there, and then the car just wouldn't turn too well with them older tires, and Newton definitely got away real easy.
So Gay coming through. So Lester and Gay made it through here. Gay on a heater here. He's coming low on Fred Lester. Oh, contact there off the corner.
Yeah, a little rub, no harm, no foul, though. It's pretty common for Bristol.
But you do see they're starting to hunt down the two, so that fresh rubber going to allow them to get up here and perhaps get by Adam Newton. A little further back, Musial still hemorrhaging spots, not doing too bad, but he could use a caution. No doubt. Oh, and Bruce checks up, and he's wrecked from behind, and carnage ensues. That was a bit of an abrupt checkup there, and I think Mankowski got into the back of him. My goodness.
Oh, that's tough for old Darren Bruce, too.
I hate to say Mankowski, so I don't know. It could have been Beller.
Yeah, that's tough for Bruce. He had gained, I think he had taken 2 tires. He gained 10 positions on that pit road exchange under that caution and broke into the top 10. So he was looking to look like he was on a march there.
So it actually was Mankowski in the 93. You see here, we freeze framed it here. We got Musial up high, Bernard Person coming down the middle, and Darren Bruce in the 15 is going to just slightly check up. You watch him compared to 83 below him, and bam, the 93 is going to come into him. So just wasn't expected by the 93. thankfully, that bumper, or the front end, appeared back on the 15 right away after it fell off. Not sure how that works.
Yeah, and that's just a product of what happens when somebody stays out on old tires. Unfortunately, it happens more times than not, and ends up ruining somebody's race. Since
Yeah.
Darren's dropped ball way
Well,
back to 28th position.
I go back to the other caution, right? We don't have old tires if we don't have the other caution, right? So
Yeah, this is true. This is true. Very true.
Nathan Hardy on pit road here. He'll get some service done. George Leal's in. Bruce, of course, is in getting some work done. Daniel Blau comes in. Looks like Paul K with a late pit stop. And this is one that I always don't like. The second lap pit stop, Baron, or whoever you are. I'm sorry, brother. But the late pit stop, not a fan of it. Not sure he did it, but it looks like he did. And I just do not like this, Jason.
Yeah, Dean. Yeah.
Don't be insulted. I'm sorry, Jason. I work with Baron a lot.
Yeah, well, it looks like we got Dale Woodford's. He's got the car on the hook being towed, so he's definitely got some damage. Tony Ratliff and Joshua Corner are both showing DNFs, aren't going to be able to finish the race.
Scott Olson's looking very tentative out here. I'm not sure what he's doing. 61 looks like he might be just checking out some fans. I don't think he knows if he's in pit road or out of pit road. A little confused about Bristol pit road. If you haven't ran it a lot, it can be a little confusing. Or if you've been drinking, Jason.
True, very true. Drinking, yeah. So while that caution was happening, they're lining up here to go green. William Gay was able to get by Adam Newton to those fresher tires. So
yeah, great job.
Got Newton starting on the outside here.
I mean, Gay assumes the lead there. That's fantastic. He must have got that done right as the caution was happening. So put Lester back to third, Ratliff into fourth. You got Ripka and Person in row 3, Mankowski and Spear, and Bass and Wrecker in your top 10.
Green flag.
Green flag down and away. Again, the inside lane is just not going. Got to start on the high side. I think Newton maybe was the leader and chose the high side. I'm not too sure.
No, Newton, he wasn't the leader. He was on the outside. I think he just got a way better start than Gay did. Of course, them fresh tires, Gay's just able to get right by him.
Yeah, put William Gay out front here. Looking good. He set sail. Lester starting to make progress. A bit of a slow start there. Ratliff and Ripka right in the mix. A couple of champs there. One a truck champ and one a Xfinity champ. And I was going to say a track champ. Maybe one of them can run fast too, but I don't know.
Looks like we're sorted out back here pretty well. Looking back, farther back in the field, you got KL Seaman up there in 13th place. That's 16 positions up from where he started, so that's a good job by him. Another car crawling up. Oh, here we go, caution again.
Big damage. Wow! Paul K gets hit late by the Oregon Duck machine of Blau. And that's not nice. That's the kind of rear end hitting you that you just don't appreciate.
Sure don't.
So I'm going to keep harping on it because that's what I do. You know, all these are started by a silly caution early on, and the pileups continue.
Yeah, well, it's that old term that everybody hates to talk about is cautions breed cautions, and that's where we're sitting right now, having a few of these in a row.
So here's Paul K coming down, big wreck in front of him. Kerr's coming way back on the track, seemingly under full speed. Crazy. Let's go back and get another look at that. I don't know who that was, but that looked insane. I think it could have been Schrader. Let's see here. So Schrader hooks the 76 a little bit, or vice versa. The 96 is just going nutty. Do I have, maybe it was a 94? I can't seem to get my numbers right. No, 64. Let's try that one.
Yeah, the 64. Nathan Hardy.
Let's go back and just see what kind of ride the 64 went through. My goodness. Now we're going to hop on board here and have a little look-see. See here, smoke up ahead, wreck up ahead, full speed, right into the Oregon Duck machine. And that is not who came through there hot, but it's another hot victim.
Yeah, some of these guys, drivers sometimes get a little overzealous when that caution flags come out. And
well, sometimes you don't see it. Like, I mean, that one there, okay, maybe you didn't see the wreck up ahead of him, and the guy checks up, you get into him, it does happen. But, you know, it's tough here at Bristol, I'll say that.
that is true. Bristol is a different type of track, different animal. Things come and approach and happen really fast.
So lap 62 of 200. So far, Newton not paying the price for the tires under these cautions, so he's held his track position for the most part. Gay in first, though. Ratliff and Lester in row 2. Row 3, you got Ripka and Person, Spear, Mankowski, Bass, and Recker are your top 10. Adam Recker having himself a nice season. I think he's top 5 in points for, excuse me, right now. Sitting in the top 10 here tonight. Pace car off the track.
Green flag, green flag.
We'll go on board here. This is Adam Kulikowski. We'll just see what kind of mayhem's going on around him and in front of him. Very tentative here on the throttle. Oh, and they're wrecking.
Big wreck up front. Big wreck
right
up
in front of them. My goodness. And that's a parking lot, folks. As this is becoming a bit of a shit show here, I gotta say, Jason, and I don't normally use that kind of language or that term, but
yeah, it looks like it's gonna have a little rough patch here in the middle. Hopefully, we'll get this sorted out.
so big rack up in front of all this stuff. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it started way up front with our leader, William Gay, and Adam Newton, actually.
Oh no. So up front, we got mayhem going on.
And then it just piles into disaster after that. What happened
So here
was,
we go, side by side. And Gay tries to clear, isn't clear. He gets into Newton. Newton gets back into him. Checkups, brings up 3 wide and more. And you can see what happens behind them. Wow. Parts of cars laying all over the place.
yeah, that's rough. That's some rough contact there. It just looked like a product of Adam Newton having to run kind of a specific line, not being free to move his car around too much, and then William Gay expecting there to be a little more room than there was. Obviously not.
Yeah, I've done that here at Bristol myself, so you're exactly right. You go around the low line and you're filtering out. Now, you're not really trying to clear the car, but you're praying and hoping he's touching the wall, right? So it's a mistake by Gay, and he could say it's a mistake by Newton. It's one of those racing deals that, you know, all you can do is control your own car type of thing, Jason.
Well, sure, but you know what you got to take in what I think needed to be taken into consideration there for William is that Newton was on older tires. He's not going to be able to run off the corner that high because otherwise he's going to slide up into the wall
Well,
himself.
that's kind of what I mean. Like he can maybe say Newton didn't go out to the wall or something, but when I consider it for myself, it's like, what could I do better? Exactly what you said. Early in the race, he's not going to be able to get off the corner. Let's take our time with this pass, right? Let's not push the limits, right? So, and nonetheless, I'm not here to coach. Sometimes I turn into coach. I apologize. Anybody doesn't want to hear this crap. Pit road is open. We do have several guys in. Of course, Newton is in. Walker, Musial, Mankowski, Bruce back in. Still working on his car. Hardy, Auckland, Leal, Wrecker, Travis, Schrader, Whitford. Some of these guys may or may not still be in the race.
Yeah, it looks like that had quite an effect across the field, especially on our top 10. We got Bernard Persons now back there in 27th spot. Looks like he's going to be done for the night.
Well, we made a little side bet before the race. Well, you didn't. We didn't make it official, but I got to say, I think you would have won it, Jason.
Yeah, I guess I should have put my money where my mouth is, but...
You saying your mouth is bigger than your checkbook?
It is, actually, but actually, you just don't know with iRacing what you're going to get.
No, you don't. And it looked good early. Right now, I expect it to clean up here as we go along. Pace car off, something going on in the high line. Don't like to see that. Odd start. One car, several cars back on the high side. Lester gets out to the lead. Jason Spear up to second, and I tell you, Jason Spear as of late, you know, we always talk about long run this and long run that with the 83. He's been showing speed lately. I'd love to see this from the 83.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And this season with RGR, that's what he's been doing. He's average finished about 6th place in the first 4 races. He's hung here between 8th and 6th this entire race. Got lucky on that one wreck. And here he is taking position. Looks like he's making a move for the lead.
And there's an example of Lester being down the track a little bit. Spear a little more tentative with going up the track, and it's just slight contact versus a wreck. Right now, here comes Ripka, so Lester under heat from several guys now. The 21 of Bass has been patient tonight, lurking around the top 10. Now finds himself in 4th position. Points leader Austin Hund makes an appearance up here, so the board is a-changing.
And look at Todd Gilly there. He was involved in a caution a few cautions ago, and he's powering up, gaining 11 spots up there in 6th place.
How about that? A Kailu glass machine. You know, all your bong needs, go check them out in Facebook. He might have brought out the one hitter here and propelled them up to this position.
And you know, Dean, I don't want to jinx it, but we are really spread out right now. It's looking really good. I believe we're going to be in cruise mode here and should have a really interesting race from this point on.
Well, here's another interesting guy, Eric Beller. So I've seen Beller in several races move up the track. Bristol, a little different on a short track, but I like what I'm seeing out of him. And he's been patient here, sitting in 7th now. How about the 4 machine?
Yeah, absolutely. And if you look at his line, he's running that really patient, nice line there. A little soft entry into the corner, takes it low a little bit, getting that straight line speed off.
Wow, and he's off the track. Beller, down on the apron. What is going on with Beller? He is pitting. He must have had a penalty or something. What has happened to Beller?
Wow.
Shocking development.
That is shocking for sure.
Jason Spear still leading. Beller seemingly having a problem at home or something. I'm not too sure. Ripka now right there, and Brandon Bass in that 21 machine, a newcomer to the league, only his 2nd race. He ran good last week. He's running good again this week.
Yeah, we also got Scott Olson, Mickey Spear moving up into the top 10. KL Seaman coming up 9th right now, and Those are some names we haven't talked about too much. Nicholas Godina up there in 10th now. And like I said, they've kind of, looks like we've settled down here, Dean. And everybody's pretty spread out, and we're going to be good to go.
Yes, sir. Lap 83 at 200. Looking in on Mickey Spear along with Cale Seaman. Seaman looking a little low here. Not going to get it done yet, but both these guys having great runs inside the top 10. And like you said, Godina up here as well in 10th position. Got Kulikowski back in 11th, Newton in 12th, and Blau in 13th. And I think that's all of our lead lap cars right now. Back up front, Spear leading.
Yeah, just talk about Mickey Spear here for a minute. I know, seen that guy on the track quite a bit. I know he's relation to old Jason Spear up front there. And Mickey Spear, he's put in his time. He's done, he's made a lot of improvements, and it's good to see him sitting up here in 8th place, just cruising along.
It really is. I mean, great run so far for the 88. Hope he can finish it off. Really nice to have him get some air time and run inside the top 10. And he's looking solid out here. I love the line he's running.
Absolutely. Yeah, only 13 cars on the lead lap. I did call that one, Dean. I did call that one, and we're barely halfway. Still got 12 laps to go to halfway.
Absolutely. Jason Martin here making the call pre-race. You guys didn't hear it, but smart man. I said no, it's not going to be the case, but here we are. Ripka right in pursuit. So last year's champ hanging right on the bumper, the 83. Now, Jason, when you're in this position, people go on board here with Ripka. What do you do here to get yourself around, or are you even looking to get around Spear at this point?
You know, I think, how many laps are we in this run? 40 laps on tires right now. At this point, I'm probably going to, myself, I would be a little patient. Unless he really gave me something that I was able to take advantage of. There's no reason to push it. We're not even halfway in this race. Just log some laps, which looks like what everybody's doing. He can easily keeping up and maintaining with them. Unless an opportunity presented itself, I wouldn't push the issue.
I mean, big sexy out front. Got that plastered on the bumper there, Jason. What do you think of that?
Yeah, well, you know, the truth is the truth right there with old JJ Spear.
There you go. Brandon Bass sitting here in 3rd. Brandon, I like this line. He's running real smooth right in the middle. Maybe pushing a little bit on that car, but I mean, sitting in 3rd, doing a whale of a job. Lester still having a great run. He probably wants more. He did sit on the pole, but currently in 4th. And how about Olsen? Talk about a big mover. Olsen now up 26 spots.
Yeah, it's impressive. Sitting there in a 5th place position. Settled in really well. Looks like he's just on a leisurely drive of 26 spots at Bristol.
A very leisurely low line. I like the line. I mean, I like middle to low off, but low line's good. It's good for tire conservation, I find. You know, you can ride around here. You're off the throttle a lot, letting the car roll. It's just good for the long run, I believe, Jason.
Yeah, the Xfinity car has, you know, it's got quite a bit of horsepower, and running up in that high line and you're getting on the gas a lot, tends to burn the right rear up a lot quicker. Down on the bottom, you're able to equalize your speed with the front tire and use the throttle to help with that speed, and kind of helps you save that rear tire a little bit.
So Bass has made his way up here to Lester. He's probably been there for the most part, but he's starting to look at considering a pass. Now faded off a little bit, so those guys kind of sort that out. Go back to Gilly and Seaman. Battle for 6th position here. And behind him, points leader, Austin Hund.
And don't look now, our previous leader, Adam Newton, has cracked back into the top 10 after having that trouble under that caution.
Yeah, do not count Newton out. If that car is still running and running well, he's fastest man out here, or was. We'll see. I mean, he could make his way back up here. He's probably a little rattled from all this, but we'll see how it plays out. And some of these guys got to start thinking about, and notice this because I'm seeing Newton run low to low. This is not his normal line. He's gone lower than his normal line. And for that, I think we're talking fuel mileage as we bring up our pit board and see when Newton pitted here. He pitted on 67. That would be 133 laps. Fuel says 122 at the high end. So is he trying to stretch it?
Nah, I don't think he may be trying, but there ain't no way he's going to be able to do that. Newton's good, but he ain't that good.
Don't think no way. I mean, there's a couple of cautions in there, you know, and Newton running that low line, he might be letting that thing roll because you can see he's not driving the same speed he was. So I absolutely thinking he's trying. Not sure he can do it.
Well, I'm sorry. Yeah. 105 laps, so 95 laps to go. He's got 67 on him. Man, that'd be a heck of a deal if he could do it.
I mean, it's a lot to save, but like with the couple of cautions that were in there, probably 3, he probably saved them, 5 to 10 laps right there. So it's going to be close for Newton. We'll see if he can get it done. Out front, big battle up front. Ripka and Spear, this battle raging on. And it looks like Ripka's ready to start trying to make a move as he looks to the inside.
Yeah, it does. I think that's why Jason's running that middle line as he taps the wall, Spear on the exit of the corner. That might be enough for Ripka to get down below him there.
Yeah, Jason gave me a tough pass running that line. It's like middle to high, in and out. And he's keeping him pinned down on the bottom. Ripka gives it up. Lester back in the mix after a few laps of these guys side by side. Here he comes. Olsen a little further back, and he's got Cale Seaman. How about Cale Seaman? Great run for him. I'm pretty sure best run of the season so far for the 66.
Yeah, he's one of those big-time gainers here with 24 spots gained since the beginning of the race. And he's solidly holding his position in the 5th place right there. Got our leaders coming up on a few lap cars. You were talking earlier about JJ's line, and I think he's doing that specifically just to keep that second-place car behind him. Doesn't really allow him to get a hard entry and doesn't allow the second place to come out underneath the corner on him. So JJ's doing exactly what he needs to keep this.
I believe that to be 100% true. But we're looking in the battle for 8th. Kulikowski, Newton's in here, Bass is in here. You got a lap car in here, a Beller who pitted. Gadina is not in that mix. But there are several cars, some of them a lap down, some not, and they are battling. It's kind of got itself shook out here as we had a little trouble moving the cameras around. But how about Adam Kulikowski here in that 7 machine, having himself a nice solid night. Started up in the top 10. He's pinned in right now with Walker and Beller there. Does a great job of just calming down there. That's what you got to do. Wait your time, come underneath. Frustrating, but no sense in trying to be wild and go 3 wide, right, Jason?
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason not to be patient as he taps the wall there, but had that lap car on the outside. So it's very smart, very patient, just to wait to get by the lap car, and he'll be hammering down here second, going back after Todd Gilly up there. Oh, as Adam Newton and him get together.
Wow, patience be damned. Newton and Kulikowski get together. We're going to have to look at it. Not sure what happened there. You just look back at Brandon Bass. Not sure why Bass was falling, but here's the replay. So the 7, wow, and Newton comes in crazy speed.
Yeah, came in like a wrecking ball, Newton did right there. It looks like he just drove hard into the corner, couldn't get slowed down enough, and came up right into the left rears.
You see at exit where Newton is. Let's look here of the corner before. Come down the straightaway, traffic in front. Kulikowski kind of slows up for the traffic. Newton just gets him. So that's unfortunate there. Really, Kulikowski's going to be a little hot on that one, but I don't think he's too damaged. He'll come in, he'll get some pit service here, as will a lot of others, and he should still be on the lead lap. I'm not sure where Kulikowski has gone on our standings here. Looks like he might have towed. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he towed, Dean.
So that's heavy damage then. That's really unfortunate for him.
Got Brandon Bass towing also. I don't know what happened there.
Oh, yeah, Bass was involved late in that wreck.
Is that what it was? Okay. Oh, yeah. Bass just hits broadsides Kulikowski.
So that's why Kulikowski's in. The initial damage, not bad. The secondary damage, quite severe. So things are flipped on its head. We got ourselves a new race leader. The 81 of Mickey Spear led a lap there. He's going to come in late. Don't like the late pit stop, but when there's only 10 cars on the lead lap, you can get away with this.
Yeah, that shouldn't hurt him too bad. I don't know if in this league if you get points for leading a lap, but if you do, then he just got one.
I think you do, and more importantly, you get to say you did it, right? I mean, leading a race is no small feat, even if you have to stay out for a lap. So Mickey Spear for the second time in a couple of weeks getting some airtime here. I like what I'm seeing. An improving driver here, and one not to be slept on. You talked about it. He's been around for quite some time.
Yes, sir, he has. Looking here how we shake out there after pit stops. Doesn't look like everybody pitted.
Well, you got Ripka. Well, let's go ahead and pull up our pit board and make sure here. So all of our leaders have pitted. You got Ripka, Lester, Olson, Hund, Seaman, and 6 it'll be Gilly, Blau in 7th, Newton in 8th, Gadina in 9th, and Spear comes out in 10th with that second lap pit stop. So, like I said, not that much harm there on the second lap stop.
I'm wondering if that was a mental mistake with how the pit lane is.
I would bet anything on it. It happens. It happens to everybody. It happens to me. If you're not ready for it, you go right by turn 2, and it's too late now. You got to go all the way around.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate.
So Ripka, your new race leader here, the 52, last year's champ, leads him down, and again, the low line just does not go. I don't know why they're not choosing the high side, but that's what I'd be doing. Lester rocking the high, gets a run, but it's too little too late. Olson looking for second.
Yeah, Olson is putting the pressure on old Fred Lester there. Taking the inside line. Looks like he'll be able to clear him here coming out of 2.
Oh, and Olson loose off the corner. Did you just call Fred old?
No. Did I? Probably.
So we got another wreck on the track. Bruce, Gadina involved. There's Gadina. Let's get a look at it.
Oh, whoa.
So here's Gadina. Beller coming off. He gets by him, no problem, and blinks out. That freaks him out. He brakes, and he gets clubbed from behind. I think that's all that happened. The blinking out of Beller caused Gadina to check up, and he got rear-ended. Yeah,
he checked up there for a blinking car, and looks like Wrecker did his wrecking and wrecked him in the back.
Well, wreckers have been non-wrecker this season, so, and I wouldn't really put that on him. I wasn't expecting that checkup from the blink out. Nonetheless, we are under caution.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not saying he wrecked him.
I don't like to. I don't mean to contradict you either, Jason. I just, as much as I like to tear into some of these guys sometimes, I also like to defend them when I can. I don't see a lot of fault there. Gadina, he checks up for a blinker. Nothing wrong with it, but it surprised the guys behind him, and he got cleaned out for it. I think I do like to contradict you, Jason.
That's all right. A lot of people do, Dean. It's a story of my life.
Is that the wives of your life?
That's right.
The days of our lives.
Well, here we are, Dean, just past halfway. What do you think?
Well,
190 laps to go.
You just got to call it the way you see it. It's been a caution-filled event that has shaken the field up. Olsen sitting in seconds. I mean, Ripka, of course, out front. Ripka's always going to be up here if he's not wrecked. Olsen did not expect to do well. Rode around the back, bided his time. I don't even think he was trying. But so through 80 laps or so, he's barely trying. He's getting his feet wet at Bristol, getting used to it. And then everybody's wrecking, and he's gaining 5 spots, 10 spots, 5 spots. Now up 29 spots in second, and his feet are wet. He knows what he's doing now. He's a real threat here.
Oh, yeah, I believe so. I mean, he's hung in there, and he's gained a lot of track position. And that's all you need here at Bristol. Track position, smooth line, you're good to go. But there's one man who has been up here all race long, Mr. Fred Lester.
Fred Lester, yes, sir. Fred is having himself a great night, the 78, and he's had a few great nights, or at least partial great runs. So don't sleep on Lester. Lester is a good driver out here, looking to get his first win, and I would expect nothing less from the 78. He's going to get one of these wins soon.
Yep, as we get double filed up, getting ready to take the green flag.
I mean, Gilly and Seaman in row 3, Blau and Newton, Walker, 9 cars on the lead lap as carnage has taken hold at Bristol.
Green flag.
Green flag drops, and it's another, I don't know what's going on with the gearing. That wasn't bad from Ripka, but it seems like maybe he could start in first gear, Jason.
Yeah, every start has seemed a little off. I'm not sure. Maybe the guys are just being extra cautious.
Wow, Olsen just rocked around Lester there like he was standing still. Slingshot, in fact, engaged. He is absolutely motoring here. Let's hop on board with the 61. And you see, he is looking for the race lead.
Yeah, well, these laps are going to click down really fast. We're getting really close to that money window being open. So it's almost time to go. I say within the next 5, 6, 7 laps, you're going to have to start putting your money where your mouth is and really get after it here for the end of this race, because 50 laps will go by in a heartbeat.
We look back from Lance Ripka's car, and you can see Olsen right there. Lester is right back in the mix as his tires come up to heat. Here comes Austin Hund. Oh, and Seaman is loose. Seaman is loose back here. And he's around, so Cale Seaman breaks loose. Great spin job there, getting that car righted. I always like seeing those.
Yeah, that's too bad. He's having a good run. He was also one that started from the back there and meticulously worked his way up front.
So he comes low on entry underneath Hund, and that car just gives away. Now, this can happen, particularly with fresh tires under braking. The car will break loose, and it will shock you, Jason. It's not normal. It just happens here and there. A little too much throttle, a little too much brake. Not sure the exact cause, but it will surprise you.
Yeah, just get that slightly too low entry, and the back end gets a little free, and if your wheels turned a little too much to the left, it just naturally gets in the kind of a hung position, and it's just a slow, lazy spin out.
All right, so I've given Newton some trouble for some of his decisions. This I love. Coming in here. There's only 9 cars on the lead lap. He's going to come in, get some tires, I would think. Maybe he'd be getting some work done, but Walker's in as well. Seaman's in, and Blau is in, and I think those two might be wrecked, but let's go ahead and see if Newton gets some tires on this car. If he does, he could be real dangerous here. Right side's going up, so Adam Newton doing something here. Darren Bruce, I believe, might be your lucky dog. So the 15 is going to come in as the lucky dog now, and that'll allow him to get service. He's right back in this thing. I mean, we're about 8 cautions from the finish of this race, Jason, if I had to do the math. A little wisecrack there, please. My apologies. But there's lots of opportunity to win this thing for these guys sitting anywhere on the lead lap.
Yeah, there absolutely is. And a couple guys who've been involved in some pretty big cautions that are have made a heck of a comeback, with especially Darren Bruce and Adam Newton. This is going to be interesting to see what Adam Newton's going to be able to do on fresh tires.
Well, Gilly, too.
With about
Gilly's
40 to go.
Coming out right now, so Gilly's got fresh rubber on the Kailu glass machine, down and away for the 19. That car looking in pretty good shape, actually, Jason.
Yeah, it does. Certainly does. Darren
I don't see a scratch on it. I mean, as Gilly managed to avoid everything, I think he was involved with something early on, but it was pretty minor.
Yeah, he was involved in a small dust-up, but I'm sure at this point he's got his car all fixed up and ready to go. And he's been around all night, pretty much there in that top 10, 6 to 12th range all night. And if he's got anything in the tank, it's probably getting down to the time where he's going to need to use it.
Here comes Newton and Blau driving through traffic. Gilly, too. They're trying to get in line. And you see Blau just forcing his way in there. Let me through. As Dibble has to move aside. Dibble in that lucky dog spot in the 94 right now, so he'll be hoping for yet another caution. Here we go. Ripka leading them down to the line. And they're a little better start there from the 52. Olsen, Lester got a good start this time, but Olsen, man, he's just really good on those restarts, hooking that corner.
Yeah, it sure is. As he's looking inside there, I'm sure he's thinking about it's time to go. Oh, and here we go. Quick caution.
I heard some tires.
Oh, right in front of the leaders there.
Wow, Kulikowski's getting beat still. Caution's been out for 5 minutes, people. How can he be hitting the car?
It looks like the 7 car just Kulikowski.
I feel like George Costanza. George is getting upset.
Yeah, the 7 car, Kulikowski just spins, and the leaders are right on him quick.
He spins all alone. We go back to the leaders now. Caution is out now. Good avoidance from Ripka. He catches some wall. But let's back this up. Who gets him first?
Yeah, Dean, that's just one of those moments. Looks like Kulikowski didn't hold his brake, and he rolled down a little bit.
He rolled down a bit. He got Seaman a bit there. Seaman didn't do anything wrong. Trying to keep the car under control. You can only brake so much as you're trying to get low like that. But, wow.
Looks like the 94 car clips into him first. And the caution is out for quite some time. Probably, yeah, quite some time.
Subby drifts with an odd comment in the chat. Not sure I'm getting that one. We'll leave that one alone for now.
Yeah, guys got to be careful now when that caution comes out. You're not gaining no position. Got to let off that gas and settle down and relax.
So Ripka and Lester are in. Hund is in. That's our points leader in that NOS machine. He might be the first one out. So Hund really making something out. Ripka's going to beat him off of pit road. Hund will beat Lester out, though. Bruce is in. I think he's still working on damage. Blau coming in now. Seaman in. Man, it's Olsen in the lead. Mr. Potato Head in the He Hut machine out front. I mean, that's his little logo for those who don't know. A little Mr. Potato Head there. Very joyous, Mr. Potato Head. Word
Well-
has it you did some inappropriate things to that potato head, Jason.
Well, we don't talk about what goes on with Potato Head in public, Dean.
Fair enough. Adam Newton in second. How about the 19? He's got some love out in the chat. Todd Toadman Gilly sitting in third position. And another guy I want to bring up, Michael Walker. We seen him struggling early. Jason, he hemorrhaged about 20 spots or something, was really not feeling it. That was way early in the race. He's in fourth position right now by staying alive, getting better as the race has gotten on.
Well, that's just that never give up attitude he's got, I'm sure. You know, is the reason why he's up here sitting in fourth spot, stacking it up, looking like he's going to get a good finish out of this. Hopefully we can get some green flag laps here and finish this thing out and let them sort it out on the racetrack.
All right, here we go. Olsen up 30 spots. Race leader going to lead him down to the checkered flag.
Green, green, green.
Green drops. Cars barely move again. It's so odd. Newton hooks the high side. Newton looking for the race lead. Newton and Olsen, a couple of friends, a couple of warriors on the track, though. They will battle. Newton wants to lead back. Olsen don't want to give it to him, but the two with the preferred position on the high side going to go around him. Adam Newton, new race leader.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. They got a 7-tire lap difference. Newton has got 7 lap fresher tires. Now that in the long picture of things, over the course of these next 50 laps, that's probably not going to make a difference. But here, right, with just at the start, the first 5 or 10 laps, it will.
So Darren Bruce working on Fred Lester. So Lester has fallen back to 7th. He was in the pit road, but so was the 15. This guy's a bit slower off the jump. Might help him out later, not so sure. Newton out front. Olsen's hanging with him, and Gilly is looking really good here in third. I mean, you know, when I say guys are improving or looking better, you know, it's almost like a backhand insult to some of them. Gilly's been around forever, right? And he's doing a great job out here. He looks really good tonight. And sometimes you take these guys, you put them in the top 3, they can race with anybody.
Absolutely. And he's probably shown the most patience out of anybody. He's just kind of took what the track and what his competitors have given him, and he's maximized every moment that he's had. Had a little bit of trouble about a quarter of the way into the race, but is definitely looking to spring forward now.
You got Hund back here in 4th position. So the points leader doing what a points leader is supposed to do, right? Get out here. Let's have a clean night. Let's let all these people do what they do and fight and all that. We're just going to have a solid points night and come out of here with the points lead.
Absolutely. Hund's having the race that wins championships right now. You know, it's been a pretty rough race. A lot of cautions, but he's hung in there. And he's sitting here with about 44 to go. And here he is sitting in 4th.
Yeah, and he's starting to hunt on Todd Gilly here. See him drift up the track just a little bit there on entry. Great run off the corner by the 95. So he's got something hooked up there. You see so much better on exit, Jason.
Yeah, and you see Todd moving around a little bit, changing his exit a corner. Almost making a huge mistake, nicking the apron there, trying to change his lineup.
Well, Olsen did. Olsen caught the apron there. That was a weird one.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was Olsen. Both black cars got me confused for a second. But old Newton looks like has walked away from about an almost 2-second gap here.
Yeah, we've kind of forgot about Newton. Newton's gone. So the 2 was doing his thing. I mean, he was doing it early, and now he's back where he wants to be, and he has set sail. But this battle continuing to rage on. Gilly and Olsen. So Gilly going around the outside of Scott Olsen. The Toad Man here up into 2nd position. How about that? The 19 now. Only one more to get beat. Here comes Hund looking for 3rd.
Yeah, that's great. Pass by Gilly, and good driving by Scott, being a little patient there and not forcing the issue too bad, trying to save what he's got going.
Yeah, I don't think he's feeling it at the moment, and he's just like, hey, there's only a few guys on the lead lap here. We'll let them go if they get here.
Yeah, and it might be a product of those 10-lap older tires he's on.
Oh, it definitely is. There's no doubt about that. Ripka here on the high side, looking for spot number 4, and he's got Walker the second with him. So Walker qualified well, fell back, now back up here into 6th position. Walker is having a nice run. Here comes Fred Lester. So Lester seems to have found his groove. He's got his groove back, Jason.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Another caution. Looks like we got Mickey Spear involved.
All right, Mickey was having a heck of a good run. Just couldn't finish it off. Probably something else happened earlier to him, but let's have a look here. So Mickey pulls off the track, stops on the track. This is the second race in a row. Mickey, if you're listening to me, you cannot stop on the track. You have to go to pit road. That's an unforced caution there from Mickey Spears. Second race in a row. Really don't like that, Jason.
No, yeah. You know, you got to be smarter than that. I don't mean anything against the guy, but you got to remember that there is a lot more things going on this racetrack than just your race, and those kind of things can really affect other drivers on track.
Well, it most certainly did. I mean, Newton looks like, well, hold on, we got Beller on the lucky dog here, so he's back in it. It affects Newton in the worst or best way. No, he's a leader. He does not pit again. Everybody behind him coming in.
Lord.
So this, you know,
it changed the whole dynamic of the race.
I don't want to go off too much on this, but my blood is getting up there because it happened last week, right? And we talked about it last week. It's got to stop. Can't stop on the track. This has really put Newton under a ton of heat here.
Yeah.
Which is good, actually, for us, but bad for Newton.
Yeah, I'm sure Newton's steaming. I mean, if all goes his way, he's literally walking away with the win at this point of the race with, you know, what do we got left? 53. 53 laps left to go.
No, 33 to go.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was
doing that Canadian math again.
Yes, Canadian math. I'm looking at the wrong guy. Sorry.
All right. Settling back in here, I am mentally Adam Newton out front. Lester in the second. Great job by Lester. Gilly in third. And let's take our pit board and make sure who pitted and who didn't. So, yeah, only Newton didn't pit. So there was a little movement down on pit road, as apparently Lester had a great pit. He beat a couple guys off of pit road, I believe. And Gilly and Hund slide to third and fourth. Olsen in fifth. Walker the second in sixth. Ripka into seventh. Blau is in eighth. Bruce sitting in ninth. And Beller, although he got the lucky dog, is still a couple laps down at least. So 9 guys on the lead lap. Adam Newton, your race leader. And I like Newton even on, let me look one quick more time here. He's going to have 30 lap older tires. I still pick Newton on 30 lap older tires.
He's definitely going to have his work.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. For him. It's going to be tough.
I mean, you'd be able to run that middle line and kind of take away that high to low entry and then middle off and then not allow guys to get up under you. You know, it's doable.
Green flag, green flag.
As we come to the green flag here.
Yeah, good start there. Newton down on the inside. He will grab that position. Oh, Lester looking for a crossover underneath the 2 machine, the 78. Trying to take it away. Can't quite hold that line. Checks up a bit. Everybody has to pull up. Olsen, I like what I see at Olsen. Very cautious there. He checks up. calmly and softly. He might have lost a spot for it, but everybody's still alive. Hund up in third, looking pretty good.
Yeah, the Lester with that low exit right there keeps Hund pinned down as he was trying to make a move on him.
Fast cars at the back here. You got Ripka. Looks like Bruce might be hurt or something because he's not quite up to pace here. Riding in eighth, he's probably happy just to be there and be alive.
Yeah, I was going to bring up Darren right before that last caution came out. He's had some pretty significant damage, and he's recovered really well. But he's only, after he got back on the lead lap, he's only been able to sit in that eighth position. Really hasn't been able to move anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, he is matching Newton's time right now. They both ran a 15:01, but that was slow for Newton. I don't know if Newton had some traffic or something, but, well, Newton, remember, didn't pit. So the field running them down here, these tires under effect, we're coming down to 25 to go here. He's got a ton of work to do. And he's moved up the track, maybe a hair, I'm not sure. Oh, and he kind of, Lester got pinned down there, and Lester's around. To the inside wall goes Lester. We stay under green flag conditions. Oh, Lester got out of sorts there, kind of being pinned on the bottom, got a little bit loose.
Yeah, it just got loose and carried it through the corner, just hung the car on the right rear. Unfortunate, got in the inside wall. It's so unfortunate for him, very unfortunate.
Listen, that was a triple unfortunate. I think that's a little, it's a little unfortunate.
It's a little unfortunate. I'm just, doing what my mentor has taught me, sir.
Newton, Hund, and Gilly. Walker right there, as is Olson. So the race is on, and wow, Gilly a little loose, maybe. Walker around on the high side. Walker heating up. How about Michael Walker the second?
Look, what Hund needs to do is commit to the outside one corner and get alongside Newton through the center of the corner and get off the corner.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I mean,
down.
it's there, right? It's there for the taking, Jason. I mean, coming down here, he can get it done, but it's tough. If you want, there's room for you to get on the out. Oh, and lap traffic, he has to check up as Whiting barely gets out of the way late. So Hund pinned down. Here comes Walker. Walker's looking high, and we'll see if he stays up there. He does. So I like this from Walker. He's going to get to the quarter panel and pinch him down. Michael Walker looking for the lead. How about this?
Yeah, that was the only way you're going to get around Newton at this point because he was running the perfect line.
And Hund has learned, so Hund goes up there and he whips around. So those tires hurt. That caution hurts. The two back to third. He'll probably give that away to Gilly here as well, as he's looking for the win. He's not going to interested in fighting for third here. The 22, Michael Walker leading. Points leader, Hund, all over him. Let's go on board with Hund. Austin Hund running the little bit lower. Keeping the headlight out, as Barron would say, to get some downforce there, Jason.
Yeah, and of course all these guys are on the same lap tires. They got 15 laps on the tires, and he's just hanging with them. Doesn't look like he's pushing the issue too much.
He's got down to the inside here. Gonna be tough down here. Walker running a good high line. Hund at the line. May have had him, I'm not sure. But they are battling side by side. Walker trying to hold him off. Can't do it. Austin Hund, new race leader. Points leader out front. Here comes Gilly now. So Walker did all he could.
To the outside.
Gilly down lower than low that time. Will clear Walker. So here comes the Toad Man. Wow, 12 to go. Walker doing a whale of a job. Couldn't quite hold on to it, though. Newton's still falling as Ripka and Olsen go by. Big battle there for third. Ripka, Olsen, and Walker as they go by Walker.
Yeah, looks like Walker's struggling right now. He's lost a few positions here.
Yeah, he come out hot there, and I don't know if he got him heated up or what happened, but hey, man, he had a good run trying there, man. You see your first victory out there, you go for it. I like what he did. Didn't work out. Let's get a good finish out of it and learn a little something here tonight. Great job by him. Gilly closing in on Hund.
Yeah, I'm not sure this late he's going to be able to make it up if we stay green here. I think Hund's got it in the bag, Dean.
Well, I mean, let's create some drama here, jeez.
Well, it's true. Unless we get these lap cars last couple laps might make a difference here.
No, I mean, you're absolutely right. Oh, and they are going to make a difference. Wow. They almost made a big difference there. So we'll see if Gilly can make up a little time here. But you're absolutely right. I mean, you put a guy at the level of Austin Hund, your points leader, out front, even though it's only 4 or 5 car lengths, he is going to be awfully hard. With 6 to go, I mean, you're going to need a miracle here. He gets a little bit of help, does Gilly here, from Kulikowski, kind of holding up Hund just ever so slightly.
Yeah, looks like we're going to be slinging NOS energy drink in the pit lane today, because with about coming to 5 to go, Hunt may have this thing wrapped up, though Gilly is still hanging with him.
I could use a little NOS right now to get me through the rest of this night, Jason.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Austin Hund coming down to the line, going to be 3 to go for the 95. He's in heavy traffic, but he's navigating it really well. Oh no! He's wrecked! Our leader is wrecked! Austin Hund has been turned, or turned himself, or something. No! Hund, bumperless, assless, you might say.
Wow, you want to talk about unfortunate for the leader and our points leader.
That is so unfortunate. Let's look at this. This is unbelievable. So he comes off the corner. The 54 comes down lower than you would expect and gets him. He could say he's holding his line, but I've had this happen to me. It's what we talked about earlier in the race, Jason. If you're the 95, you got to stay lower than that because you don't know what to expect out of these guys. It's not that you're wrong. It's that you don't know, and the 54 stays a car off the wall, and bam, your night is over. You had the race in the bag. Wow.
Yeah, that's just the difference between a foot, is the only difference. Is all he needed to stay lower. It's a lap car, probably on older tires, I'm guessing, and you just can't expect that there's going to be that much room up there because there wasn't.
A tough lesson to learn. I mean, I was absolutely dominating a race here at Bristol one time, and I did that exact thing. I would say the guy wrecked me, but in hindsight, after some time to think, I thought, you know what? I gotta do better, right? I can only control me.
Yeah, that's right. You can only control. You're only holding your steering wheel, and that car is there, and you should do everything in your power to prevent wrecks from happening like that.
So how about this, Jason? Pit road, Newton, Bruce, Blau, all in. 6 cars on the lead lap. Daniel Blau, the Oregon Ducks machine. I haven't given him enough airtime. I'm always talking about Bo Nix instead of him. Sorry about that, Daniel. But looking good here out of Lowell, Oregon. All right. Spartan Racing.
Yeah, he's another guy who started way in the back, up 28 total positions during the course of this race. So he's been a gladiator here at the Colosseum and worked his way up. Looks like he's going to have a solid top 10.
Man, I just looked around the Colosseum and all the Lions are laying down. They're full. Todd Toadman Gilly out front, president of the RGR Racing League, out here looking for his first win this season. I mean, wow, Todd Gilly. What an opportunity, and he's going to have to beat last year's champ, Ripka, Walker the second, who was awfully fast on the restart, Newton and Bruce with fresh tires, along with Daniel Blau. So, whoa, wait to see this one, folks. This is going to get nutty.
Where's Newton going to start? He's going to start an outside lane high.
Yeah, and I mean, he's got to like that.
And Walker's got fresh tires too, right?
I don't think Walker does. So, Walker's, a few of these guys could be in trouble. Let's see here. Only 3 laps to go. Gilly leads him down. Decent start by the 19. Advantage, Todd Gilly. The 19. Oh, trying to hold Ripka. Ripka plays nice there. He could have had a better run. He checks up a little bit. We got wrecking. It could be over. It is over. That's going to be Todd Gilly, your race winner, as carnage ensues behind them. Let's get a quick replay here and then give Gilly his due. So here's Seaman. He's behind Kulikowski. Oh, up in front of him, Walker slides loose. Spear gets trapped there. Seaman gets a little piece. Blau's down pit road. Darren Bruce involved. He's coming out the wrong end there. That's never good when things come out the wrong end. So Todd Gilly is gonna be your race winner here. Or no, we're gonna go green-white checker. Was that not an official green-white checker? Hold on to your hats, people. We only do one green-white checker, I believe. Apparently the last one not officially won.
No, Dan, I think it was set to 2. We're gonna have one more.
Okay, all right. So misinformed Boothman, my apologies. The 19 will have to do this again. Did he learn anything, Jason? What should he do here? I mean, shouldn't he start on the high side?
Well, I'm not sure what to call. I know that Buckshot there, the 52 car, he did not get a good start on that last restart, and that kind of accordion the outside line. So I don't know if that's a product of the line or a product of his driving.
Man, I don't root for people in this league, but I am rooting for the 19 tonight, the Toad Man, to get his win. He has got the 2 toughest guys right there. Ripka, last year's champion, and the 2, Newton on fresh rubber, who's been the best here tonight. I mean, my goodness, is he going to have to earn this, Jason?
He will have to earn this, because if Newton gets to second place and gets a clear lane, either high or low around him, you can expect Newton to put his car there, and he will challenge for that lead before Todd's even knows what happens to him.
Deep breath for me and them. My goodness, this is going to get nutty. The Ripka here looked like if it went green, he was going to get Gilly. But from what we're seeing out of the racing, you probably only got to get through a corner or two, and a yellow's going to be out, Jason.
Yeah, well, hopefully they're able to get a green flag chance at it so these guys can sort it out on the track and not with a caution coming out.
I just hope Gilly moves up the track. He can start low, but he's got to get down a little higher, hold the high line, make these guys pass him low. Usually it takes a couple laps to get that done. He'll get the win. If he gives Ripka that high side, Ripka's going to drive right around him. Here we go, folks. Green-white checker, last one. Gilly, thinking about it, ready for action. Ripka ready to challenge. Here we go. Green flag down and away. Gilly, decent start. Ripka, good start on the high side. Down into 1. Gilly got a little bit, but Ripka rips the outside. Newton comes low. Newton checks up, doesn't want to wreck Gilly. Good job by Newton, but Lance Ripka to the lead. I mean, you knew it was going to happen. Final lap, Lance Ripka looking for the win here. The 52 going to come home victorious. Gilly will hold on for second. Newton in third. Bruce gets a harder in fourth. Walker the second in fifth. And Daniel Blau in sixth. Your lead lap cars. A couple of great runs for Walker and Blau. Beller recovers for first man a lap down for seventh. And Alland, who we haven't even talked about all night from all the carnage, he just persevered and gets eighth place. Seaman in ninth. Hund in 10th. And a shout out to Mike Brown, because I haven't mentioned Mike Brown tonight too. The 54 coming home in 11th.
Yeah, that Ripken, he got a really good restart that time, and should be glad that he had the opportunity to do it again, because the prior caution on that first green-white checker, he didn't get as good a restart. So yeah, congrats to him.
Gilly, if they could choose, I don't know if they can or not, but he had to choose the high side, and if not, he had to clear himself high. There was no shot against Ripka on the outside. Ripka, this is what champions do. He really hadn't been in this position all night. He led, what, 2 laps? The last 2 here tonight, Jason.
That's right. He was able to persevere. He stayed in it. He was in the top 10 most of the night. He was in the top 5, good portion of the race. Did everything he needed to do. He was right there at the end, and he was able to take advantage and come home with a win.
All right. Let's take a short commercial break. We'll get some race interviews when we return.
So here we go for round 2. Can we throw 2 hours and 40 minutes onto the clock? They'll crest the hill, they'll dive down into the S's. 4 wins in 4 races for the Apex Racing team.
All right, the IMSA Sport Championship there. Check that out over on iRacing. Now we're back at the track, and I mean, my goodness, what an event. Jason, we brought you in, and it was a true Colosseum event here.
It sure was, Dean. We had quite a bit of cautions, but it didn't disappoint. There's a lot of good racing, and the Colosseum lives up to its name once again.
We bring up the results here, and you can see we're going to quickly flash through a few of these and see who really got hung out the back. Brandon Bass was having a good night. Gadini actually was having a good night at times. Whitford. You see Gay was fast tonight. He's back here. Greg Ratliff, Person, and Paul K. Travis. I mean, George Leal barely got started. I mean, it was just a rough night for some of these guys at the back here tonight.
It sure was. You got Greg Ratliff started P2, but finishes way back in the standings. You got William Gay started 8th, and he's also didn't have a very good finish. Looks like you got somebody in the booth here to talk to us, Dan.
Absolutely. One guy who did have a good finish, not the finish he was particularly looking for. That's Adam Newton in the number 2 machine, 3rd place. Adam, congrats on 3rd place. I mean, the way some of these guys' nights were, it could have been worse.
Yeah, I shot myself in the foot a couple times, and I know, thank God Barron ain't with you tonight, or Jared. They would have called me on that.
What? You don't think Jason called you out?
I'm sure he did. And I'm sure Valerie did too. She was probably like, Jason, mention it. But hey, yeah, it is what it is.
No, you do what you can, Adam. The situation's tough up there late as the leader. You did pit or didn't pit earlier as well. That one, who knows? But late, And then you get new tires. You check up for Gilly. I thought that was a good move there, rather than really force it and possibly ruin both of your nights. So that was a good move. And third place, man, solid. Solid points night. You were fast out here tonight. I mean, how'd the car feel? I mean, it looked like if you could just get a green flag run, you're going to be up front, Adam.
Yeah, that's all I needed was a green flag run. Even when I got into the 7, I was, saving gas, and I knew when I got to that point, I was like, all we need is a green flag run. And I know Jason wasn't exactly happy about that wreck, but I mean, I had clutched it. I was the only car in the field that could have made it to the end of the race. And it is what it is, man. We've all had one of those nights, but sorry to my teammate for getting in that incident. And yeah, I did the right thing with Greg. I could have took him. I mean, Todd. I could have took him 3 wide, but I didn't.
I thought you were going to say I could have took him out, but I didn't.
I mean, I had to run on him on the backstretch, and
yep.
I mean, fresh tires, better restart. I showed the courtesy when I was on the old tires. I know you got to protect the line at the end of the race, and that's what you got to do. I mean, I've had some horrible finishes the last couple of weeks. I needed a good thing to get back in this thing. I led some laps, so that's the way it goes.
It is. And I mean, the Toad Man looking for his first win out there. He was doing all he could. But Adam, you had a decent night, man. There's a lot to be happy about tonight when you have a race like this and you manage to stay out of a lot of it and persevere and get a top 3. So we look forward now. You're going to move on here. It's only race 5. We're still thinking championship here, aren't we, Adam?
The way my luck's been, hell, I'm be lucky just to finish the race.
Well, you were lucky enough to finish the race tonight. 3rd place, man. We'll give you the floor, Adam. Whoever you want to shout out, you go right ahead.
Yeah, I want to say congrats to Todd and to Lance. That was the best finish Todd's had. I'm glad that he had a good finish tonight. And thank Lintunnel, RGR. I hope too many of the guys ain't too mad with each other tonight, and thank Pam Pittman and Todd and all my Spear teammates.
All right, Jason, that was 3rd place. Adam Newton in the number 2.
And I'm here with the 2nd place finisher, Todd Gilly. Hey, buddy, it looked like you had this thing wrapped up in that first green-white checkered. Unfortunately, we had another caution come out. And then it looked like you struggled a little bit on that last restart. Is there anything you could have done differently in that last restart?
Well, the guy outside of me could have not been Lance, and the other one could have not been Adam Newton behind me on newer tires. But man, I'll just take it. I'm tickled to death with how I run tonight. Everything kind of fell my way after I got in an early accident, and I just couldn't be happier. I'm speechless, really.
Yeah, absolutely. We watched you all night, of course. It looked like you had a solid night. You stayed in that top 10. You got a little dust up there at one point in the race, but were able to recover. And it looks like you just had a patient, solid race all night. It was really impressive to watch. Is there a rule? Do you guys have a rule allowing for you to start on the outside on a restart?
We do. You can choose. We have a choose rule. You can choose to start on the outside if you wanted to.
I was screaming at you to choose the top, Todd.
Let me ask you, Todd, if you had to do that restart over again, I know you're happy with where you're at, and I can understand you. If you had to choose the chance to do that again, would you choose the outside for that last restart?
Well, Lance and I were on equal tires, but Adam Newton was 3rd, and he was on new tires. And I was worried if I got on the top line, Adam, there's no way I was going to be able to beat him if he got underneath me. I would never be able to keep him behind me. So I thought, well, the best thing for me to do was try to beat Lance, keep Lance behind me on the top, and not let Adam have the bottom. And that was my best shot to win the race. That's what I thought.
Well, that's awesome, man. And a great finish. It was a great race. I'm sure you're very happy with your league that you got going on here. And you got any shout-outs or anybody you want to shout out to right quick?
I want to shout out every member of this league for making it such a great thing, and seeing all these cars is really a thrill for us that from having started it. I want to shout out all my admins for helping keep it going. I want to shout out Lance Ripka for helping me out so much in practice and giving me so much advice that really helped me out tonight, more than any other race for sure. And also one last one, and that is to Affordable Construction Specialists, who are the new title sponsor of our Truck Series races on Wind Tunnel TV. I want to thank Mike and Shannon for coming on board to sponsor our Truck Series, and thanks to everybody that's watching, and you guys for being here.
Hey, Todd, before you go, I just want to say I called you race winner because I thought you only had one green-white checker. To find out you had a second one was heartbreaking to me, Todd. I'm rooting for you, buddy. You're going to get one.
You told me I will, and I really appreciate you, man. I really do. And man, I thought, oh gosh, I wish it was a Truck Series because I know there's two in the Xfinity. But thanks so much, Dean. I really appreciate everybody at Wind Tunnel and everybody that's watching. Like I said.
All right, man. All right, that's Todd, the Toad Man Gilly, with a thrilling performance here tonight. Couldn't quite get into victory lane, but that's only because a champ came up and took the race away. Opportunity knocked. Lance Ripka answered the 52 down in victory lane. Congratulations, Lance.
Thanks, Ian. It was a hard-fought battle. There's a lot of fast cars tonight. To finish number one means a lot.
Man, we were saying, at one point, looked around the Colosseum and seen a few of the lions around the Colosseum were just laying down with their bellies full. They were eating tonight, weren't they, Lance?
Oh, most definitely.
I mean, the Colosseum, a tough track. Talk a little bit about your race and how it was going. I mean, we didn't see you, at the very front at all until the end here, when it matters. Just tell us a little bit about the earlier parts of your race.
Well, anytime you start a race here at RGR, you got to think long run. You never know whether or not we're going to have a green to checker run. So that was my mindset the entire time, the first half of the race, the first 3/4 of the race. And towards the end, I started pushing a little bit harder. I did avoid a couple of incidents that could have probably ended my night, so I got lucky there. But just kept the car up front and just hoping for that opportunity to pounce.
Now, you get to that last restart, and you're on the outside. Were you surprised at all that Todd did not choose the high side, or were you happy to be on the high side?
I almost said something to him under pacing, but at the same side, we come here to win races, and
That's right.
so if he's not going to choose it, he's not going to choose it. But yeah, I was pretty surprised that he didn't take the top side. That's definitely the fastest way around the racetrack.
Well, especially on a restart. I mean, in these conditions, you can really get through there full speed. And you did a great job at doing that. Were you all concerned with Newton? I'm sure you were, sitting in third there trying to make some moves on some fresh rubber.
Well, most definitely. I mean, he had the, best tires on the track at the time. So, he's always going to be that guy in the back of your mind. I got to worry about Todd first, and then worry about Adam second. But yeah, a part of me wanted to just kind of lay back and give Todd that win. But it, if I would have done that, then it wouldn't have felt the same to him. So,
well, if it's any consolation, you know what, we've been in these situations in the past, and I always say your first win, you don't want it given to you, right? You want to earn it. Todd went out, tried his best to earn it. He's happier than hell. I mean, sure, he'd like to win, but you don't do anything wrong when you win a race, Lance. You did it. You did what you're supposed to do. Todd will earn one, and when he gets it, it'll be that much more special.
Yeah, and that last restart too. I thought he spun the tires or something because it didn't seem like he had a really good start. And then I hit turn 1 and 2 just perfect. So, at that point, it was just, I gotta go, and man, my hat's off to Todd. It's a hell of a run. He's making leaps and bounds as far as his ability to run up front.
Yeah, well, he gave you a lot of credit in his interview as well, giving him some tips in practice and that. So, great shout out from Todd. Great shout out from you too, Todd. And I'm sure the league is doing well. But a few cautions tonight, but we'll get that cleaned up as we go. It is the Colosseum, but nonetheless, Lance, you're back in victory lane, and unofficially, you have retaken the points lead. So that could be big too. It looks like Hund right there with Wrecker, Spear, and Bruce hanging around as well. So it's going to be a slugfest this season. I mean, a lot of good drivers up here fighting for this thing.
You bet. There is a lot of good talent, and there's a lot of drivers in here that I keep telling them, you're knocking on the door. You're right there. You got to have a race go your way. You got to get lucky every once in a while, miss a wreck. But look at William Gay. That guy, he was running up front fast all day, and then just got caught up. So he's knocking on the door, and geez, I can't even tell you how many others that are just right there. And we have these practices every day or before the race, and I always tell them, man, I'll help you out. I'll tell you what I'm running as far as settings, all that stuff during practice, but come race time, you're on your own.
Yeah, that's right, Lance. That's the champion mentality right there. Last year's champ, Lance Ripka, down in victory lane. Lance, we'll give you the floor here. You got any sponsors or anything you want to shout out? You go right ahead.
I want to give a shout out to Affordable Construction Specialists for appreciate them stepping up and coming aboard our truck series. Ripka Designs, VMR Wraps, you guys for putting on a hell of a show. All the admins and everybody else in this league, man. Even with the cautions tonight, still the best league.
All right, Jason, the 52, Lance Ripka, race winner here at Bristol.
That's right, Dean. It's been a heck of a race, heck of a run. It's a great finish by the top five. Just a note, too, for our fourth place finisher, Darren Bruce, had a rough go of it, but he was able to pull off fourth place. But what a great night tonight. There was a lot of cautions. We only finished with 6 cars on the lead lap, but still, sounds like there's a lot of enthusiasm, momentum with the league, and overall, there's some good racing.
Yeah, there is, and you got to remember too, we've added a bunch of drivers in, so I think probably we're at the point now where we're going to start subtracting a couple of these guys. That's what happens. You add a bunch, it gets unclean. You subtract too much, it gets boring, so we're going to find our grace point here, I would imagine. And I absolutely love these guys. I mean, they race clean and they race hard. Tonight was not evidence of the clean part, but in general they do. And it's going to be a thrilling season because we've got, maybe 8 or 10 guys still in this championship hunt. You don't often see that, Jason. A lot of times there's one guy who's won 3 out of the first 5 races and he's already walking away.
Well, I believe that's 5 different winners in the first 5 races, Dean. So that's truly evident that there's a lot of talent here, a lot of good drivers, and any one of them can pull off a win anytime.
All right, speaking of any time, that time will be next Sunday, 9:10 p.m. It'll be the RGR Winston Xfinity Series. We have the coverage every week. Of course, we'll be back tomorrow night with the North-South Racing League. Make sure you tune in for that. But for myself, Dean Doucette, and for Mr. Jason Martin, that's going to wrap it up here from the Coliseum, and we'll see you right here next time on Win